Imagine lying awake at 3 a.m., the world silent except for the faint hum of your own thoughts. A shadow creeps into your mind, uninvited, whispering a truth you push away. One day, you will cease to exist. Your heart races, not from fear alone, but from the weight of a question you can't escape. What does it mean to live when death is certain? The paradox is cruel. You strive, you love, you dream, yet every choice you make is haunted by the ticking clock of mortality. Why do you run from this truth? Why does the fear of death, a distant shadow, cast such a long reach over your life? Picture yourself at a crossroads, choosing between a safe job and a wild dream. And you pick safety not because you want it, but because it feels like a shield against the unknown. Or maybe you cling to relationships, habits, beliefs, not out of love, but out of fear. Fear that letting go means facing the void. The great question cuts deep. How does the fear of death shape your every choice? It's not just about the end. It's about the way this fear twists your present, pulling you toward comfort when you crave courage. What if the life you're building is just a defense against the inevitable? What if every step you take is shaped by a shadow you refuse to name? The tension is suffocating, a quiet dread that lingers in your bones, urging you to look at the truth you've been avoiding. To understand your choices, you must confront the one certainty no one escapes, and ask what it's doing to you right now. The answers are closer than you think, but they demand you stare into the abyss. You lie awake, the shadow of mortality creeping into your thoughts. But why does this fear, so distant, control you now? Why does the certainty of death shape every choice you make? The answer lies in a primal truth, woven into your psyche and amplified by the world around you. Philosopher Martin Heidegger called it being toward death, the inescapable awareness that your time is finite, coloring every moment with a subtle dread. Psychologically, this fear isn't just about the end, it's about the meaning you assign to your life. Ernest Becker, in his seminal work, The Denial of Death, argued that you build your entire existence to avoid facing this truth. You chase achievements, relationships, distractions, all to prove you're more than a fleeting spark in the void. But here's the paradox. The more you run from death, the less you truly live. From childhood, society teaches you to deny mortality. Fairy tales promise happy endings, culture glorifies youth, religion offers escape. Yet, this denial traps you. Psychologists point to terror management theory. When confronted with death's reality, you cling to beliefs and systems that give you a sense of permanence, career, status, legacy. This shapes your emotions. You feel anxious when you step outside the norm, guilty when you prioritize joy over duty. Your identity becomes a fortress, built to shield you from the abyss, but it's a fragile one. Every choice, to play it safe, to please others, to avoid risk, is a brick in that wall. Philosophically, Nietzsche saw this as a failure to embrace the eternal recurrence, to live as if every moment matters. Instead, you let fear dictate your path, choosing comfort over courage. The societal roots are insidious. A culture obsessed with productivity and permanence leaves no room for the raw, fleeting beauty of existence. Your fear of death isn't just personal, it is reinforced by a world that profits from your denial. The tension builds as you realize this fear isn't just about the end, it's about the life you not living. What happens when every choice is a defense against the inevitable? What does it cost to let fear write your story? The consequences are deeper than you think, and they're about to unfold. You feel the shadow of mortality, its quiet grip on your choices. But what happens when you let it rule you unseen? The fear of death doesn't just linger in your thoughts, it reshapes your reality, your relationships, your life, in ways you don't notice until the cost is clear. Neurologically, this fear triggers your amygdala, flooding your system with stress hormones that push you toward safety, not growth. Psychologically, it has the immortality salience effect. Reminders of death make you cling to familiar beliefs, roles, and systems, even when they stifle you. Picture yourself choosing a safe job over a risky dream, not because you love it, but because it feels like a shield against the void. This isn't just personal, it's cultural. Society conditions you to deny death. Media glorifies youth. Consumerism sells you immortality through possessions. Religion promises an afterlife to ease the sting. The cost is devastating. You avoid risks, silence your passions, live a life that's safe, but small. Philosopher Albert Camus called this the absurd, the tension between your desire for meaning and the reality of death. You build a life to escape this truth, but it traps you in what psychologists call defensive avoidance. Your emotions suffer. Anxiety, regret, a quiet dread become your shadows. Your identity shifts. You become the person who plays it safe, not the one who dares to live. The paradox is cruel. You fear death, so you avoid truly living. And the life you build becomes a kind of death in itself. Culturally, you're caught in a system that profits from your fear. Advertisers sell you distractions. Institutions reward conformity over courage. The urgency is suffocating. Every choice shaped by fear steals a piece of your vitality. Your brain adapts, wiring itself to prioritize security over freedom, making change feel impossible. The stakes are higher than you thought. This isn't about one cautious decision, but a life half-lived. You feel it now, don't you? The weight of a reality shaped by avoidance, the ache of a self restrained by fear. The trap is invisible, but its consequences are real. Missed chances, muted joys, a heart that feels distant. But what if facing this fear could set you free? What if the shadow holds the key to a life fully lived? The truth is near, and it's about to redefine everything. The fear of death has shaped your life, its shadow guiding your choices. But what if freedom comes not from denying it, but from embracing it? The radical shift is this: death isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. To break free, you must stop running from mortality and start living with it. Philosopher Martin Heidegger urged you to face being toward death, to let the certainty of your end ignite your present. Imagine waking up tomorrow, knowing it's your last day. What would you do differently? Write it down. This isn't morbid, it's liberating. Psychologically, this counters the mortality salience effect. By confronting death consciously, you weaken its unconscious grip. Neuroscience shows that mindfulness practices, reflecting on mortality, strengthen your prefrontal cortex, reducing fear-driven choices. Try this. Each morning, meditate for 5 minutes on your finite time. Then choose one bold act that honors your life. Look to Steve Jobs, who, facing death, prioritized innovation over safety, creating a legacy of courage. Society tells you to avoid death's reality, but that's the trap. It keeps you small. Instead, follow Camus' absurdism. Embrace the tension between life's meaninglessness and your desire for purpose. Counterintuitively, lean into risk. Pursue that dream. Speak that truth. Love without restraint. Your brain adapts, rewiring to prioritize vitality over security. The paradox is profound. By accepting death, you unlock life. Reject the cultural conditioning that sells you immortality through possessions or status, and embrace the fleeting beauty of now. Historically, figures like Socrates faced death with clarity, choosing truth over comfort. You're not escaping death, you're escaping its control. Try this. Each day, do one thing that scares you, that makes you feel alive. A conversation, a creation, a leap. Feel the shift, don't you? The power of living fully, fearlessly. The trap is fading, and a deeper truth is about to redefine everything. You've begun to live with death, letting its truth guide your courage. But now, the final revelation dawns, a truth that redefines your entire existence. The great lie wasn't it that death is to be feared. It is that you ever needed to escape it to live fully. The paradigm shift is this: death is not your end, but your beginning. Because it's the certainty of your mortality that gives your life its urgency, its beauty, its meaning. Heidegger's being toward death wasn't about dread, it was about awakening to the now. Imagine waking up tomorrow, not with fear, but with clarity, because you realize every moment is a gift, not a burden. Society taught you to deny death, to chase permanence through achievements or possessions. But now you see the truth. Life's impermanence is what makes it precious. Psychologically, this is the liberation of existential awareness. By embracing your finite time, you free yourself from fear's grip. Your past struggles, every safe choice, every hesitation, suddenly make sense. They were your attempt to avoid the void, when the void was calling you to live. The paradox is breathtaking. By accepting death, you embrace life, and every choice becomes a chance to create meaning. Picture yourself now, not running from the shadow, but dancing with it, loving fiercely, creating boldly, living fully. This realization shifts everything. Your relationships deepen as you cherish each moment. Your dreams soar as you pursue them without restraint. The world will still sell you immortality, but you are no longer its fool. Take this truth and live it. Love now, create now, be now. Because now is all you have. The channel you're on, our journey together, is a call to keep embracing the present, to keep finding meaning in the fleeting. Subscribe, join us, and let's keep living with courage, because your life isn't about escaping death. It's about making every moment count. Feel it now, don't you? The freedom rising, the urgency pulsing. A life no longer shaped by fear, but by the beauty of being alive. Step into it, and let your light burn bright.